Good morning, students. Today let us see a new chapter, nervous system. One of the important characteristic features of all living organisms is responding to stimuli. So stimuli or stimulus. What do you mean by stimulus? It refers to the changes in the environmental condition that are detected by receptors present in our body, and the changes in the activities of organism to a particular stimuli, that is called response. Living organisms show response to different kinds of stimuli like light, heat, taste, smell, etc. For example, withdrawal of hands when we touch a hot plate. So the hot plate, that's the heat, it's the stimuli, and withdrawal of hand, that's the response. In short, in our classroom, when somebody is calling our name from the back, that's the stimuli, and we are looking back, that's the response. So have you got it? The difference between stimuli and response. To get a correct response to a stimulus, coordination is very important. So coordination, that's all the organs work together in a coordinated manner to maintain a physiological balance, that is called homeostasis. Homeostasis. So here coordination is very important. So for every stimulus there is a response. For every stimulus there is a response. And for the stimulus and response, coordination is very important. So coordination, all the organs, they are working together in a coordinated manner to maintain a physiological balance, that is called as homeostasis, or to maintain an internal equilibrium, to maintain an internal balance, that is said to be homeostasis. Now coming to this nervous system. This nervous system, it is made up of nervous tissue. It is made up of nervous tissue and is formed of three components, that is neuron, neuroglia and nerve fibers. So this nervous tissue, it is made of three components. What are they? Neuron, neuroglia and nerve fibers. This neuron, it is also said to be nerve cell. It is also said to be nerve cell. Now define neuron, or what are neurons? They are the structural and functional unit of nervous system. So neuron means what? They are the structural and functional unit of nervous system. And this neuron, it is said to be the longest cell in our body. So the neuron, it is said to be the longest cell in our body. And these neurons, they can detect, receive and transmit the stimuli. Information is conducted through neurons in the form of electrical impulse from one part of the body to another. So when you are taking neurons are nerve cell. They are the structural and functional unit of nervous tissue, and it is said to be the longest cell in our body. Now coming to neuroglia. This neuroglia, it is also said to be glial cells. It is also said to be glial cells. And here this neuroglia are the glial cells. They do not initiate or conduct nerve impulse. So this glial cells, they do not initiate or conduct nerve impulse. And the last one is nerve fiber. So the nerve fibers, they are the long slender processes. So a number of nerve fibers, they are bundled together to form nerves. Now coming to the structure of neuron. So define neuron, or what do you mean by neuron? It's a structural and functional unit of nervous system. That is said to be neuron. And this neuron, it consists of three parts. They are cyton, dendrites, and axon. So the neuron, it consists of three parts. What are they? Cyton, dendrites, and axon. Now the cyton, it is also said to be cell body or perikaryon. It is also said to be cell body or perikaryon. Now the cyton, it is irregular or polyhedral in shape. The cyton, it is irregular or polyhedral in shape. Then there is a large nucleus and there are cytoplasm. So this is nucleus. Then cytoplasm, and this is said to be cyton. Cyton or cell body or perikaryon. So in the cyton there is a large nucleus. There is a large nucleus and also cytoplasm is seen inside the cyton. And the cytoplasm, there are large granules called as Nissel's granules. And also the cell organelles like mitochondria, lysosome, ribosome, endoplasmic reticulum are present in the cytoplasm. And the next one is dendrites. So dendrites, they are the numerous branched processes of the cell body. So from the cell body there are numerous branched processes called dendrites. The numerous branched process of cyton, they are said to be dendrites. These dendrites, they direct the nerve impulse towards the cyton. So here the dendrites, they are directing the nerve impulse towards cyton. So these are dendrites. Now the last one is axon. So here one of the dendron, it goes vertically downwards and that is said to be axon. It is said to be axon and it ends in a terminal branch knob-like structure called as synaptic knob. Synaptic knob. So this is synaptic knob. The plasma membrane of the axon, that is called as axolemma. The plasma membrane of the axon, that is said to be axolemma. So this is axon. And and the cytoplasm of the axon, that is said to be axoplasm. Axoplasm. Now this axon, it is covered by a myelin sheath. Axon, it is covered by a protective sheet called as myelin sheet. Myelin sheath. And this myelin sheath, it is not continuous. It breaks at intervals called nodes of Ranvier. This myelin sheath, it's not continuous. It is breaking at certain intervals called nodes of Ranvier. And the region between these nodes, that is said to be internodes. And the myelin sheath, it helps in transmission of nerve impulses. So again, you see, coming to the structure of a neuron. Neuron, it's the structural and functional unit of all living organism. And it consists of three parts. What are they? Cyton, dendrites and axon. The cyton, it is also said to be cell body or perikaryon. And the cyton, there is a large nucleus and cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, there are large granules called as Nissls granules. And then the dendrites. So here this dendrites, they are the numerous branched processes of the cell body. They conduct nerve impulse towards cyton. And then one of the dendron, it is going vertically downwards called as axon, which ends in a branched process called as synaptic knob. Then the plasma membrane of axon, it is said to be axolemma. And the cytoplasm of the axon is said to be axoplasm. And the axon, it is covered by a protective sheet called as myelin sheath. And this myelin sheath, it's not continuous, and there it shows some intervals, that's called as nodes of Ranvier. And this myelin sheath, it helps in transmission of nerve impulse. Next one is synapse. The junction between the synaptic knobs of axon of one neuron and dendron of next neuron is said to be synaptic junction. Information from one neuron can pass to another neuron through these junctions with the release of chemicals known as neurotransmitters from the synaptic knob. That is said to be synapse. So you see here, so see here it's the junction. So this is the synaptic junction. This is the synaptic junction. So through this junction, the information is passed from one neuron to another neuron. So that's said to be synapse. And I hope you all might have understood. And you study the structure of neuron as homework. It's very, very important.